What's up, guys? It's time for the Player 4 podcast live stream. Once a month, you come, we talk, you talk, I talk, they talk, let's all talk.
Ice cream for ice cream.
You got it. Only I don't have any ice cream.
Anything you want, you got it.
I am Tristan, aka Shagrazir, on the Rooster Teeth website.
I'm Alex, aka Chaos Black 21.
Wait, something's missing.
No, it's not. Just keep
go
going.
with it. Hey, I'm Joseph, aka J. Dunlap, or as my students inexplicably call me, J. Dunny.
Hey, Danny. And our new fourth member?
Oh yeah, the new replacement for Haley. Da-da-da-da!
Da-da-da-da.
Oh, we're singing Halo now. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
Matt 317 from the Rooster Set, or Matthew Anderson, wherever you like.
Remember Matthew Anderson?
Welcome back to the podcast, Matt.
You were on, what, episode 3, episode 4, around there?
Oh yeah, that was back in like early April, just right after Let's Play Live.
This is like a Texas podcast, except I'm in Missouri, so
Yep.
I'm a lone wolf.
Mm-hmm.
True. 3 out of 4 people are in Texas. All right, so Joseph sent out a spreadsheet so that we would have a topics to talk about. Leave me alone. I can do this. Topics to talk about. So let's see. First item on the list: start a call with Matt 317 so he can intro. All right, we did that.
Okay. This is exactly what I said not to do.
But I'm doing it because it's funnier to do it.
I think there's something special about today, maybe possibly something special about today, other than the fact that we have Matt 317 rejoining us.
There's
Yes.
actually two things.
Something else.
No,
Two things.
It's today is International Podcast Day.
Okay, yes, but you jumped the gun on that one.
No, I didn't.
And
Yes,
It's
and
also-
also it's my birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha-cha-cha.
We're gonna leave it there because the
Yeah,
last time we did a happy birthday was terrible.
Speaking of, Alex,
This
it's
any
time
better?
for us to move on to tweets of the week.
Tweet of the
It's a
week.
week.
Yes, tweets of the week.
Tweet.
We have 3 here that I'm going to read out loud. First one was from Rick Guerrero, aka Digital Gargoyle. He's kind of a nice guy. He's gonna go places someday. And
Someday.
his tweet was, I blame Johnny Depp and the Pirates of the Caribbean series for getting my buy my onesie stuck in my vocabulary.
Yeah, I recall that.
And I just,
he
I
all
had-
I'll buy his onesie.
when he
by
said
his-
that, though, I had this image in my head of him in a onesie sitting there in the room in the middle of the Rooster Teeth studio. Alex?
Oh no, that's you got it.
Next one was actually from some guy named Matthew Anderson,
Who's this guy?
aka Matt317, Matt317A on Twitter.
Matt, what did you say?
Do you remember Matt?
let's see.
No
I think
peeking.
it had something to do with, man, I really wish I was on here to talk Halo with you guys.
Yes, that was not the tweet, though, because you are actually on. So this tweet was actually a reference to episode 34 from last week. This announcement will move you to tears. And what you said was, if y'all wanted to use more clickbaity titles, quote-unquote clickbaity titles, and thumbnails, take some notes from the Funhouse team. They're champs at it.
There they are.
Shots fired.
Looks like we got some competition, guys.
We gotta get more clickbaity. Let's do lists.
A list of lists.
Yeah, a list of lists. Hey, we started that long
I'm
time
gonna
ago.
bring my list of lists in.
Episode 2, because we don't talk about episode 0.
Exactly.
And then the third and final tweet was from Richard Curtin, a.k.a. Uzeria, who is unable to listen to the live stream because he is actually at a screening, the tickets of which he obtained from Film Geek Army. Sound familiar? But that's a worthy cause. But his tweet was, happy birthday to Joseph Dunlap, and if you're not already, check out his podcast, Player 4 Podcast.
So Joe, how old are you now?
32.
Congratulations.
32. Nice. A nice number equals out to 5.
I
For
suppose
Halo
it does.
5. Halo 5.
Oh, so it's confirmed. Joseph is Halo 5.
Halo 5 confirmed, guys.
No, I'm actually the Illuminati.
Oh,
But nice try.
Halo 5.
Hey, Tristan,
We're still waiting on the Half-Life 3, though.
what's our next segment?
Our next segment? Let me think. I'm getting vibes from England on this one. And another thing.
Matt, would you like to take a stab at it?
And another thing.
Interesting take on it.
It was an interesting take.
Yeah, it was. It didn't blow out the speakers.
Looking at you,
Oh,
Rick.
sorry about that. And another thing.
Yeah. Well, I had a few things. It has to do with more Rick Guerrero stuff. He tweeted us after last episode 34, where we were saying happy birthday all as a group, which is the reason we didn't do it this week, because it was kind of disastrous, but still fun. And he said, thank you for the birthday wishes, and also asked where the puppies were.
I didn't get him a puppy.
I didn't get him a puppy either, and I was really confused, so I asked him, was he expecting a puppy? We're sorry that there weren't puppies, and all he said was LeMayo.
I mean, I was going to give him a puppy, but I couldn't give up the puppy. I loved it too much.
Hashtag give up the puppy.
It's funny when you say that, because it sounds like you're saying, like, mayonnaise, but putting just the French le in front of it for fun.
So, LeMayo. My older sister actually thought that was lame-o for the longest time. Haha, nice joke, lame-o.
Wow.
LeMao.
I pronounce it Lamau.
Anyway, the other thing was actually regarding Tristan, and it was the fact that as a follow-up of episode 34, Rick and Tristan actually had a conversation about Destiny. Would you like to share what happened?
Are we turning this into a Tristan cast?
No. Basically, what I recall was that I got a tweet from Rick, and he was making fun of me for not having as high a light level as him. So we then discussed how to get my light level up, and we were discussing how apparently he plays alone. So I was going to try and send him some invites so that he could play with me instead. Maybe he could help me get my light level up since
and you guys can cuddle.
And you can cuddle.
Well, because he was telling me how he gets all of his good gear from Crucible, and I've been doing basically avoiding Crucible like the plague because I don't like PvP stuff generally.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer co-op, and I prefer PvE, so that's why I've done Crucible. But he was telling me how Crucible is a good place to get high light level equipment, and so...
Well, maybe you guys can help each other out.
Maybe, yeah, I can help him with PvE, and he can help me with Crucible.
Anybody else have anything? How about you, Matt? It's been how long? 31 episodes since you've been on?
Yeah, what do you have to correct us on?
Well, also,
It's like,
is he really
I'm
not
bringing up
gonna-
the spreadsheet. I'm bringing up the spreadsheet now.
Thank God nobody actually keeps a spreadsheet of all the times we're wrong about something.
I can start.
Aw. Why'd you have to give me the idea?
No, it's a bad idea. Don't do it.
Seriously, though, Matt, do you have anything that you wanted to touch upon?
Not much. I just have you all been playing any? What have you all been playing lately?
Mostly Destiny for me, and I started streaming BioShock Infinite, but I haven't gotten to my second episode on that yet, because I haven't picked it up again since that first episode. But I intend to.
All right.
I'm playing NHL 16 and playing some more Diablo 3, and I just started playing Warframe because Tristan got me into it now.
Woo! I have not yet gotten to play Warframe with Alex because Alex doesn't have Xbox Live.
Yes, I had it that one week, and Matt and I tried to play together, and it wouldn't let us join up together, so that was terrible. But we got to talk at least.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
I didn't even get to talk to Alex when I tried to link up with him on Halo. It was mostly me on one end of the phone while he raged at Xbox Live into the other end of the phone.
Yeah, then it started working the next day, and then a few hours later after that, I tried it again, and it once again, the Xbox Live, like, I don't know if it was the servers or something, but it was saying that I didn't have the trials still again, and they said it was something on their part. After that, I just gave up because, like, that night I was going out, taking all my stuff with me from the place I was house sitting.
We gotta get you some good internet so we can hang out outside
Yeah,
the podcast.
definitely.
I need to go. I need to move down to
general.
Texas. Apparently,
Yeah, you do, before Tristan leaves us. I've been playing, let's see, last week I was actually live streaming, not that anyone was watching, but I was twitching, figuratively, not literally.
I was gonna say, you should probably get that looked at.
I was playing Battle for Middle-earth, the RTS.
Oh yeah.
From the Lord of the Rings series, Battle for Middle-earth, Battle for Middle-earth 2, Battle for Middle-earth 2, Rise of the Witch King. I've been just going through the campaign of the first game for like the umpteenth time, just because I felt like it. And this week I've been doing a lot of Magic the Gathering testing on a Rules Enforcer in preparation for a thing that's going to happen soon.
now before
Don't spoil it.
this Battle for Middle Earth RTS. So is it like similar looking to kind of like the Command and Conquer and like that kind of real-time strategy.
It's like a lot of RTSs where you've got the units moving around. You can select all of them. You can select just the heroes. You can select a single unit and then select all units of that type.
Mm-hmm.
You can group them and then have hotkeys for the groups, although I don't really tend to need to. And the big thing that sets it apart from a lot of RTSs I've seen is the heavy use of heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we're going to be doing throughout this episode, we're going to have various announcements throughout the whole thing. We've already done the first one, which is that it's my birthday. But the second announcement is now going to take place. And that is the fact that last week we announced Draw 4 Podcast. And this week I am going to tease towards something. That's why I was waiting.
Tease it.
Tease it. I'm going to tease to the fact that you can expect within the next few days, probably the end of this week, maybe next week, I'd hope not, there's going to be a trailer for Draw 4 Podcast.
Oh, a trailer?
Ooh.
We didn't even get a trailer. What the heck?
No, we didn't, because we just dove in, but I'm trying to get this planned out and everything now that I kind of know what I'm doing.
Do it all professional-like.
Yeah, I want to do it right.
Maybe that's what held us back. We didn't have a trailer.
No.
If I were to think of a name for this episode, I'd call it Trailers.
No, we already did that. And Alex, actually, what I was going to say was that our first episode and our second episode were really well received. If we had a trailer, it wouldn't, I don't think, have had much effect on our reception as a podcast because we got a good solid, 60, 70 views in the first few weeks on that episode. But I feel like with this one, it's such an undertaking that I want to have a trailer that introduces the entire rotating cast and the production team and myself. And that's going to be at some point in the next few days. I'm still trying to get people to give me their videos. I have to record one of myself. However, as previously mentioned, today is podcast day.
Podcast Day of the International Variety.
International
Didn't plan this at all.
hashtag podcast day. Is there anything else anyone has before we move on to what Matt wants to talk about?
Just that. I know you mentioned Fantastic Four before.
Yes.
Like the recent, very, very recent one. Y'all were talking about how it wasn't a very good movie, despite none of y'all haven't seen it.
I was talking about how it wasn't received well.
I was the one who said that we can't judge it. We're just going off of critics.
I was going off of how well it did.
Well, true, but unfortunately, I did see it, though.
Unfortunately.
And, I don't want to be too hard on it, because, there were some things in the beginning that I thought were pretty good, but the rest of it, it wasn't that good. Trust me, it wasn't that good.
When I first started seeing teasers, I was hopeful. And then I stopped being hopeful and I lost my hope altogether. And I made it a point not to criticize the movie itself based on the content therein because I never got around to seeing it. I made it a point to focus merely on how it was received and how much money it made. There were others that said, I heard it was horrible, therefore it's horrible. I just wanted on record that I didn't.
Right. Under
the bus. But thank you for that, Matt. Thanks for taking one for the team and watching it so you could tell us how it was.
Oh, yeah. I was glad I saw it. It just, it was still enjoyable. But, I probably should stop. I don't usually like bragging on movies.
On our way out of, and another thing here, but on the topic of movies, I saw a movie today.
Oh, really? What was it?
Can you bring that up after the Halo conversation so we can have it at the end?
Oh, okay.
I just figured it would go in with the movies, and I didn't want to say too much about it since it hasn't even actually released yet. So
well, we're teasing it now.
We're teasing? What are we teasing?
We're teasing the fact that you saw a movie.
Oh.
Yes,
fine.
but that means people have to keep listening.
I'm a tease.
Let's have our Halo 5 conversation, and then I will let you say as much as you want to say, Tristan, but I know Alex and Matt are very passionate about wanting to talk about Halo 5. You guys, take it away.
All right. So, let's see. How far do you want to go back? So, last time y'all talked about Halo, you were talking about the first cinematic with Fireteam Osiris, and since then, the cinematic for Blue Team and the recent TV spot have come out. So you want to start with the Blue Team one?
Okay, I actually haven't seen the Blue Team one, so this is actually new to me.
Oh, well, I was going to say, well, probably worth seeing, even though there's nothing spoiler-related in it, but I was just going to say, I remember how Joseph said that he had an idea that perhaps 343 were inspired by Rooster Teeth and Red vs. Blue and Monty Olam.
Oh, yeah, that's my theory, and I'm sticking with it.
Well, after watching this one, it became more obvious.
Okay, give us some details. What was in it?
Oh, it had like Chief and the rest of Blue Team in a Pelican infiltrating like this Oni ship that's been taken over by like a Rebel Covenant, and just the whole infiltration and just getting to the ship was almost straight out of RVB Season 9, right out of Season 10. It had the asteroid setting, it had them jetpacking out of a Pelican, had them inserting into like a space station, had magnetic boots.
I actually saw that cinematic because I have a few students in my freshman theory class that like to talk gaming with me after class or before class, and so on my way into the door, one of my students caught me and showed me on his iPhone that cinematic and was like, "Isn't this awesome?" I was like, "Kind of looks like the one with Nathan Fillion where they're flying through the space battle." And I remember thinking, "This is Freelancers. This is Red versus Blue right here."
Right. It just what you said about it looking a lot like RVB just kind of stuck with me. And then when I saw the Blue Team trailer, then that's where it really sunk in. And I thought, this is really cool. Rooster Teeth is responsible for a lot more things now, like influencing Halo, like you said.
Coming full circle. Coming at you live.
This is DJ Black Alex.
Like a Halo.
Like a Halo. And Matt brings it around.
He came in like a Halo law.
No, Tristan.
No.
Bad.
Just leave.
Think about what you did.
No, I never think about what I do.
So, do you want to talk about any other smaller details in the trailer that I was kind of hinting at?
Well, what did you notice, Matt?
Well, just that. Just sort of introducing Chief with the rest of Blue Team, all the sort of hinting at some of the team dynamics. Like you could tell they've been together for a long time, that they're practically family at this point. Pretty good seeing familiar faces and hearing familiar voices. Which familiar voices, I forgot who his actual name, but I know that whoever voices Fred is also the same voice actor who voices Roy Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist. So I caught on that really quickly. But anyway, that's not the point. I also noticed that when Chief was piloting the Pelican, getting in the spot, I kind of noticed that his hands were kind of shaking a little, there's a little bit of hesitation, he's still thinking about Cortana. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. See how that'll play out in the campaign.
The voice of Fred, by the way, is Travis Willingham, and he is a voice actor in the Gears of War games. He also does the voice of Knuckles the Echidna for the Sonic series of games.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in the Sonic Boom TV series. He was the voice of Superman and Lex Luthor in the video game Lego Dimensions. He was in the TV series Marvel's Avengers Assemble, playing the voice of Thor and the onboard computer. And I could go on. Disney Infinity, voice of Thor. And Hulk and the Agents of Smash, playing the voice of Thor and Young Thor. Batman Arkham Asylum, it just credits him as voice.
Yay.
Same thing for Lego Jurassic World. And just on, he does a lot of voice acting. Saints Row Get Out of Hell, he was Satan.
That was a very fun game.
Oh, another fun fact I found out is that his wife, Laura Bailey, who's also a very renowned voice actor, she voices Olympia Vale. So I thought that was pretty interesting, that married couple voicing different characters in the same game.
Yeah, that's a talented couple right there.
Yeah, and other than that, I guess that was pretty much all I could add to that particular trailer. Just that it was a lot of callbacks to RVB, and that just looked cool.
It's very similar to the Halo 3 campaign that went on. Halo 3, you had the model that was built with this huge battle that supposedly took place. You had people that, enlisted people, that they gave their accounts of what happened during the Great Battle and all that. And then here, for Halo 5, you have the Hunt the Truth campaign, which is the audio recordings of the reporter who goes and gets people's accounts of what they saw with John growing up and all that. And now you have the commercial here, the latest commercial, with the whole death of Spartan 117, Master Chief. And it's just replaying, it seems like, what they did with Halo 3 And also I noticed in Halo 5, in this latest commercial, they had his visor glowing and dimmed out. In one of the commercials with the model set, when they had the Brute holding him up in the air, like about to kill him, and they had his mask go up, and his visor then started gleaming, so it was almost kind of like an opposite effect.
Oh yeah, the Halo 3 diorama.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was I believe.
After they show him show the grenade in his hand, I believe it was.
Yeah. Then his face lifts up a little bit, and then like the visor starts gleaming, which in the opposite, when he dies here in the commercial, supposedly his visor is glowing and then goes out.
Yep. Which
So I just saw those observations.
So many observations.
And I mean, then also going back to when we were talking about the Fireteam Osiris trailer and how their drop looked like around the beginning of Halo 2. So it seems like they're taking a lot of things from past Halos, whether that's the marketing campaign or game-wise.
are we gonna get a gamer fuel? I'd like.
It's like, you mean the Mountain Dew stuff?
Yeah, the
Yes. I still have the bottles.
I still have a bottle as well, like not the can, but like the actual bottle. I still have that somewhere. It wasn't horrible tasting.
Oh, it tasted fine. I didn't hang on to the cans or anything. They were advertising Halo 3, I remember.
But man,
Wasn't it-
dated reference is dated.
Wasn't it essentially like Code Red, but tasted a little differently?
Yeah, pretty
orange
much, but before Code Red existed.
Yeah, I actually kind of liked it. I have three bottles. One for Halo 3, one for Reach, and one for Halo 4. Yes, I am that nerdy.
Well, I mean, yeah, the first one might have been before Mountain Dew Code Red, but the other two, definitely Code Red was before that. I'm pretty sure Code Red was around before all of them, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
So they basically were like, oh, well, people love Code Red. Let's take that, but let's make it so that it's not exactly like Code Red, and we'll call it Gamer Fuel.
There's actually a game type that I like to play that some people that I went to college with came up with, and it's a hide and go seek variant of Halo. It's where it's Juggernaut, and the Juggernaut is invisible, and all they do is they just hide, and everyone's on the same screen. It's all split screen. So the Juggernaut hides and they're invisible, and all you see on their side of the screen is what they're looking at, and they usually will zoom in on like a rock or something, and then everyone's going around with swords and grenades and trying to find out where they are by just looking around, trying to match the scenery, and using echolocation with the grenades.
Now, see, I have a great variant that I played with friends. I think it was on Longest. That was the one that had it was just the two hallways right next to each other going all the way down, wasn't that? It is Oddball. It's Team Oddball, but you don't use any guns. You just you have infinite grenades, and you just chuck grenades down the halls and try to kill whoever has the skull.
I
and
remember
you try
that.
to pick it up with your team.
But that sounds like a lot of fun. Unlimited grenades was one of the most fun things in Halo 1 when you could enable that.
It's terrible. People just go around holding the left trigger down.
Chaos is fun.
Oh, God. He's one of those players.
The first birthday that I had after I started dating Regina, who is my wife, we'd only been dating about maybe less than a month because my birthday's September 30th and we met in college. So that birthday party was actually people came over and played Halo 2 split screen. And there were a few people that were unfamiliar kind of with Halo 2. They'd played the first one or they hadn't played Halo 2 in a long time. So the first variant we did was just swords. Just hit each other.
Sword.
Sword. And then the next variant we did rules that we did was rocket launchers and swords. And then from there we just went to normal Halo. It was kind of a warm-up sort of thing, getting them acquainted with it. I think it was 5 or 6 of us, so we were taking turns doing the 4-player split screen, and we were just doing Battle Creek.
Halo needs a gun game variant. If anybody remembers the old Counter-Strike, there was a game mode called Gun Game, where everybody would start off the game with a knife. And then as soon as you got your first kill, you lost the knife and it gave you, the weakest pistol in the game. And then once you got a kill with that pistol, you got upgraded to a slightly better pistol, and then to like an SMG, and then to an assault rifle, and to a sniper rifle, until you died, whereupon you went back to a knife. You had to
I would play a variant that's the opposite.
They did do that in Call of Duty, but actually the last weapon I think was the knife. It was like a tactical knife that you had to shoot and kill someone with.
You mean the ballistic knife?
Yeah, and
like throw it.
It's a knife with an explosive in the handle. When you press the button, it launches the blade out.
Yeah, the ballistic
awesome.
knife. Yeah.
That's a real weapon too.
I'm sure it is.
It's true.
I was just gonna say I would play a variant where you start with the most powerful guns, and then the more kills you get, the closer you get to just having a knife.
Yeah, you have to really try to get that last kill.
Yeah, and then if you kill someone with a knife, then you win. Maybe.
So if you die, do you start out with the most powerful weapon again?
Yeah, you would start off with like a rocket launcher, then from there sniper rifle, then from there probably.
But the idea is if you have the rocket launcher, it means you're not doing well. So you get the easy kill with that one, and it gets progressively harder to get kills.
Yeah, I like games that you still win if you're the better player, but it is always an even playing ground. I guess it's because I'm a teacher and I always have to worry about grading curves, I guess. But I made a variant with Gina one time because I just have more hours playing Halo, and so when we play, it typically is me following her around.
3 weeks as an official teacher, and already he's throwing out the phrase, well, I guess it's because I'm a teacher.
I taught for a full year doing a music appreciation, and if a class ever needed a grading curve, it's a music appreciation. Anyway, the variant that I made for her that I would always win, but it would be always just barely, was a variant called Plasma Peaks. We were allowed to screen peek, mostly beneficial for her to know if I'm following her. Your only weapon is a plasma pistol, and you get 2 points for a kill, 1 point for a death, and then an extra point for each medal you earn from the kill. So if it's an assassination, then you would get like an extra, I think, 2 points, a headshot, an extra point, and things like that. A splatter, an extra 2 points. And so then, as long as you're still getting kills, and even when you're dying, you're not out of the game, because you get a point for dying. And it was a fun little variant where it would be to 50 points because you get those really quickly, because it's just two people killing each other constantly. And even if you die, you get a point. If you splatter, you get like 2 points. So I would win, but it'd be like 50 to 35 or something like that, and it made it a lot more fun. I think, though, unless anyone had something further about Halo, I think we need to move on towards the end of the episode.
Okay, I'll just save mine.
Oh,
what was yours about? Maybe
I was just gonna ask Tristan how he thinks that the order would be gun-wise if they made a gun game for Halo.
Ooh, that kind of requires some research that I haven't done yet. Throw the SMG in there, get somebody gets to with the new Middleearth, since we just had talked about it not being as good as it used to be. Put that down toward the bottom, and then up at the top you'd have like the DMR, the sniper rifle, or the new incineration cannon.
What you could do is you could choose your faction and then have access to that gamut of weapons. And then you would start with their simple weapon, their melee weapon, and then work your way up to their most powerful one. And the differences would simply be a playstyle thing because they're all pretty equal. It would just be what you want your weapon to be able to do.
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know. Most plasma weapons I never really thought were as good as human weapons.
Plasma weapons were always very effective against shields, though. And that's why they would just rip through elites a lot quicker than assault rifles would.
It was because plasma was more effective against the shields.
Yeah,
than bullets. All right, the shields were made to withstand kinetic weapons, but plasma works to counter the shields well. So if you had a plasma weapon, you could get through an elite faster because you could rip away its shields. I watched a movie today at the Alamo, and it was one of the premieres during, so apparently every year, Alamo, South Lamar has this event called Fantastic Fest, where for like a week they show films all day, and you buy tickets for this thing months in advance. Of course, I've only just moved here, and I only just learned about Fantastic Fest 3 days ago, when a friend of mine told me he had gone and seen, dun dun dun, Laser Team.
Ooh.
So I wanted to figure out if I could go see Laser Team. A little research, and I found out that Fantastic Fest, the event at South Lamar Alamo, is showing Laser Team this year only twice. And so I had one more chance to go see it. And according to their website, all the tickets were sold out. But you can go there an hour before a showing, and if there's any free spaces, because they pre-seat an hour ahead of time, you can go and buy a ticket and watch the film on the spot. So I went there and I hung around for about a half hour just with my fingers crossed, and finally they said, okay, we've got open seats for Laser Team. Anybody here wanting to see that, go buy your ticket and go into the theater. So I got to see Laser Team today, the first official feature-length film by Rooster Teeth.
Without revealing anything about the plot, because we already kind of know the plot anyway from the trailer, so don't reveal anything that's not in the trailer. What did you think?
I thought it was incredibly funny. Here's why. They kept the Rooster Teeth humor. Even though they were, they're going to a feature-length film, and you would think that they would have to kind of modify to be able to expand their audience, to cater to a wider audience. They would kind of maybe not exactly be themselves. No, they stayed true to form. And there were a lot of in-jokes. There were lots of prolonged shots of cast members, even at times when if you're not a fan, you wouldn't know why this random extra is being shown on screen any longer than anybody else. So you do see a lot of the cast members and their humor. They stay as true to form, vulgar as they possibly can. Many, many, many jokes. I did feel like there was a bit of, we've never done this before, and we're doing our best. So there were some scenes where it felt a little awkward if you compared it to, movies by professional companies that pump out movies every few years, or professional directors, Steven Spielberg. There were a couple scenes or moments in scenes where you did feel like it wasn't exactly sure what they wanted to do with the scene. But other than like those couple little brief moments of, well, that felt a little unusual, like didn't feel like most other movies I go see. I thought it was great.
And wouldn't change a thing.
I wouldn't change a thing. One thing that we weren't sure of, everybody was like, during the trailer was, is he putting on a southern drawl or not? And the answer is yes. His character does have a southern drawl in the film, and they do turn it into a rather funny joke early on. So, yeah, they did a good job with that because his southern drawl is a little shaky. So they did turn it into a joke early on in the film, so you don't have to worry about that one too much.
Okay, awesome. I mean, I doubt it's ever going to come to theaters near me, so I'm just going to have to wait for
when you can buy it on DVD and Blu-ray.
No, well, I was a backer, so the Blu-ray is going to be coming to me whenever they send them out.
There you go.
I'm still going to see it in the theater if it comes my way.
I'll go buy the Blu-ray, DVD, whatever.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. Now, I said earlier I didn't want to jump too hard on the Fantastic Four hate wagon, but one of the earlier reviews I found on Laser Team was essentially, they called it the best Fantastic Four movie to come out this year.
Yeah, I read that too, and I was like, oh snap, but probably true.
Put that on the box.
Put that on the box, yeah.
Yeah, so let's move on to announcement number 3.
Another announcement.
There's 4, remember? There's 4 announcements. The Fantastic Four announcements.
I was trying to act surprised, because we have the stuff, but other people don't have the announcement.
Well, I
announcement
get to be officially
number 3
surprised.
Is that Minecraft videos, P4Craft specifically, are going to continue very soon. We're going to release P4Craft Episode 4 very soon. The format of P4Craft is moving to a split screen format, because I don't want to cut anything that the viewer might want to see, especially when we're interacting.
It's extremely time-consuming to jump between views.
That's the big reason, but also I kind of like the way that it looked split screen. I was going to use split screen just to edit it, and I went, I actually kind of like this. So it's going to be split screen, because it'll be a way that we're not used to seeing Minecraft.
It's true.
And
maybe it'll be a new wave that everyone starts doing that.
Who knows? And we'll be pioneers in that field. And also, we'll start recording some more Minecraft stuff. I had talked to many people during RTX about doing VA for a role-playing series that we're going to do in the future, but I just need to know. I need to prepare for that more, have more time to work on that. But yes, we are working on a role-playing series set in the Minecraft world. And I think there's nothing else, so we can move on to announcement number 4.
This one we don't know about.
This one just says, all caps in the Google Doc, special announcement, parentheses, it's a surprise.
I get yelled at when I read the Google document to our podcast audience, but Joseph gets to do whatever he wants.
This was worth mentioning. Yes, I do get to do whatever I want. This special announcement is I got an email on our Gmail account for the podcast from iTunes today, this afternoon, that we are now approved on iTunes.
Whee!
This is the best news I've heard.
Yes, you really wanted us to get on iTunes, and I was told Podomatic was a good place to go, and I'm using Podomatic.
Thank you so much.
The URL for the Podomatic, by the way, is listen4podcast.podomatic.com. But we're going to be on iTunes, and so you don't really have to go to the Podomatic. And what I'm going to do is pretty much every day upload an episode. Episodes 1 and 2 have been uploaded, and we should be in the store by the weekend. We should be searchable for in the store itself by the weekend. It told me about 2 days. So when this is out, we should be searchable in the iTunes store, Player 4 Podcast, and there should be somewhere between 2 to 5 episodes downloadable, and we're just going to start with the beginning episodes and work our way through. And once we've caught up, it'll be an episode a week. But that'll be well over a month from now. So those of you who haven't gotten to listen to the older stuff because it's not on iTunes, those of you who want to just binge listen again, then feel free, because we're going to be on iTunes and it's going to be awesome. That is the special announcement.
But they're going to miss out on all the awesome graphics that you guys do.
Okay, yes, it is worth mentioning that we do have awesome graphics and awesome pictures and little visual jokes that you don't hear, like the banana phone last week.
Or my dancing King of Fighters character.
Yes, you have to watch that on YouTube if you want to see the video stuff, all the
jiggle.
The animated GIFs of jiggling stuff.
It's mostly Jello, don't worry. It's mostly Jello.
Ah, okay. Well, I think that is a good episode, and we can end it there. And since Matt317 is our guest, thanks again for coming back to us and not being scared off the first time you were on.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to be on.
You get to say goodnight to the audience.
Have a good night, audience.
That was
beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. Golf clap. I would clap, but Joe would really get pissed.
Yes.
It's okay. Just play with your bracelet instead.
Yeah, play with your bracelet. Jump on the bed.
Peruse my chair. I'm going to peruse it.
Peruse.
We love you, Haley. We love you so much.
Good night.
Here's to you, Haley.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
You know, Joe.
What?
I forgot. I had one thing and another thing that I forgot to say.
Okay.
And it was, you didn't give me the link to put in the link dump.
Ooh.
Isn't that the article that I put on the screen anyway?
Baby.